Yeah, definitely North Cascades is one of my favorite areas in the Pacific Northwest because of these peaks behind me. Washington State just has so much alpine territory to kind of explore.
Where Helen and Tim travel, a husband and wife duo based in the Pacific Northwest with the goal to see the world one mountain at a time. After our awesome Lake Tahoe trip, we're super excited that the Pacific Northwest summer is in full swing and we're able to get back into the alpine as the snow has melted. On our next adventure, we head up to the North Cascades where we check out Hannegan Pass to Hannegan Peak, and it is one of the most stunning alpinist areas in all of Washington State. The drive up to North Cascades from the Portland area is about 5.5 hours and just under 3 hours if you're coming from Seattle. So we made it to the Glacier Service Center. We are picking up our permit for our North Cascades backcountry adventure this weekend. The permits are required to camp in the backcountry. We are going to be heading up to Hannegan Pass this weekend, and we are going to take you along for the ride. This Douglas fir tree is over 730 years old. We'll be
Hannegan Peak.
here tomorrow. We made it to Hannegan Pass Trailhead. Honestly, I'm not used to starting this late, so I could use a nap. It is 1:37. I bet by the time we start our journey, it will likely be about 2:30 or so, or maybe just before that. You will need a Northwest Forest Pass or a National Park Pass. Our first backpacking trip of the season and likely our last until we get to Peru.
I don't like carrying a heavy pack anyway, so.
Yeah, we prefer day hiking.
So today we're doing the Hannegan Pass Trail. We're going to the boundary camp on the North Cascades National Park. And I believe it's going to be 5 to 6 miles.
It's going to be a nice camping area with a lot of beautiful peaks surrounding us. So just excited to be outside for a little while. Looks like the road washed out long ago, so that's why you have to access the trailhead and walk to where the pit toilets are. In the distance, that is where the old parking lot is. And
There's the new parking lot.
And it's a Friday and it's very much packed because it is the summertime and we have about 2 to 3 short months of hiking before the snow returns. It's always nice when there's a pit toilet at the trailhead. Hannegan Pass is part of the Pacific Northwest Scenic Trail. Not sure what that means, but I'm gonna look it up when I get home. So
You
are
are
here.
here. And we're going here.
Hannegan Pass to Hannegan Peak is a very well-defined trail. It's over 10.5 miles round trip with over 3,100 feet of elevation gain. And at its highest point, so at Hannegan Peak, it sits at 6,200 feet. You'll get expansive alpine wildflowers, mountain views of glaciers and waterfalls. You really just get the best of all different worlds of the mountain environment. And dogs are allowed on leash. Definitely overgrown in some spots, and there's a reason why Tim and I always wear long sleeves. We don't want to deal with getting cut by a plant or getting ticks. So we are about 1 mile into the hike. It's pretty much you're going straight through a valley, so there's some intermittent sun exposure as well as, you're walking through forest. See, you'll get sections of the mountains to the right of you, but overall, it's pretty mellow. This plant looks like it's straight out of Jumanji. Remember that movie?
So as we're hiking out this trail, you can see Hannegan Peak, which is right up here. And so our camp at Boundary Camp is going to be going over the pass to the right here between kind of this peak to the right and Hannegan Peak here. So the pass is right in between there. We're going to stay at the Boundary Camp, and then tomorrow morning we're going to go summit Hannegan Peak.
Oh my God, it's so hot.
It
is, I think, a high of 68, 70, but it feels like at least 85. I'm drenched.
Well, it's pretty humid, so yeah, we're sweating pretty good, but
This is why we don't hike at 3:30
it's a beautiful valley. I mean, it's great views. It's just it's kind of hot right now.
Kind of can't enjoy it when I'm sweating my buns off and
Oh well.
staring at my feet. We are starting to get some elevation gain and starting to go up. A lot more gravelly than dirt.
Well, it looks like we got about a quarter mile until we hit our first switchback. And then we're gonna go up about 7 more switchbacks. And then we branch off towards the boundary camp and we have 5 more switchbacks.
Sounds like a lot. I don't know why I ask, because I just get...
Learn not to ask, yeah.
Are we there yet? So here we are at the split off, going up to Hannegan Peak. And we have about, I would say 1 to 2 miles until we get to our campsite up at Boundary Camp. It has been quite an easy, I would say, hike overall. Very steady incline the whole entire way. My hamstrings are bothering me a little bit, so it kind of sucks, but that's why you bring your trekking poles, take some pressure off. Let's go! I'm excited. That was really cheeky. So, taking a quick break.
Yep. Just map check.
Made it to Hannegan Pass. I know the bugs here. Ugh.
Ooh.
Mosquitoes here, bad.
Good thing we brought the mosquito nets,
Yeah.
the head nets.
It's probably because the snow just melted out not too long ago, so
Anytime that
they're breeding.
Anytime that the snow's recently melted out, it's gonna be buggy.
Ugh. And I'm the one who gets eaten alive, not Tim.
So we just crossed over Hannegan Pass and we're heading down to the boundary camp. We probably have about a half a mile left. It's mostly downhill from here. And our plan as of right now is to possibly get up early before sunrise and hike up to Hannegan Peak and get some great sunrise photos. So, I mean, that's the plan. We'll see how we feel in the morning, I guess.
Final destination tonight. So a bear barrel is required in the backcountry in the North Cascades. That's where all of our food is stored. But at the boundary camp or some of the campsites, there are actually these bear lockers. I'll open it up and show you if I can actually open it up. See, they can't get their big paws through here and you open it. Looks like there's a couple people staying here tonight. That's where they can store their food overnight and it won't be bothered. So there is a pit toilet at the boundary camp. I call them wilderness luxuries. Look at this view. Too bad it's not facing that side. Spectacular.
Toilet with a view. So the Copper Ridge Trail, the famous Copper Ridge Trail, heads up this way. However, we're going to be going down here.
Careful.
On day 1, we hike about 5 miles into the Boundary Campground, which is situated in the North Cascades National Park.
Looks like we found camp for the night. Not a bad little site. It is so buggy. Ooh, are you spraying DEET in your eyes? That can't be safe.
I didn't spray it in my eyes. I had my eyes closed.
Blowing up?
Takes exactly 30 breaths to blow this up. Trust me, years of experience.
Camp for the night.
Yeah.
About to eat dinner. Guess what I did bring though? My
Haribos.
Filling up water. Tim has the water filter. Hi. I got my bug netting on. Super, super sexy, huh? Actually, I'm super thankful to have it right now. It is buggy AF. How'd that feel?
Refreshing.
You
Always refreshing after like a hot, sweaty day, you know, even though it's super cold.
Tim's man purse. His Merce. You got Peak refuel for dinner tonight. Make it on our jet boil. Got a little home style chicken. Kind of looks like barf, but I'm sure it's tasty.
Do it again. Jeez.
How is it?
Well, it doesn't taste like barf.
Hang on, I'm too close. It's good?
That's good.
Super salty at all?
No, not too bad.
Oh, okay. That's usually like our
That's good.
issue with freeze-dried meals, just the salt factor. So little. Splooch. Hello.
We're trying something new for dessert tonight. We're trying Backpackers Pantry mango sticky rice. And so it sounds really good. I mean, it's got mango, it's got coconut in it.
Tim added too much water.
What?
Sorry, Backpackers Pantry, you missed the mark.
Missed the mark?
I think I give it like a 3 out of 10.
A 3 out of 10? Ouch. And we've had real mango sticky rice before.
Good point. This is definitely not
Close, yeah. But, you know, we're in the backcountry. What can you expect?
So Tim, what happened?
Well, brought my coffee, and I brought a filter, but I did not remember to bring the little pop-up device that holds the filter, so then I can pour the water into the coffee.
It's like a pour-over, a portable
It's
pour-over.
a portable pour-over. So I forgot to bring that device. So now I'm going to try to MacGyver my way into making a stick holder for the filter over my cup. So I'm gonna make it happen.
I bet it'll work.
Found some mushrooms.
I do not know anything about foraging mushrooms, so not even sure if these are poisonous or not.
So not try these.
Feel free to drop a comment if you know what kind of mushrooms these are.
Thank you for being my adventure buddy.
Aww.
This is what we came up with. Tim is holding the coffee filter and I'm pouring the water. His sticks didn't work. This sunrise is so beautiful. We really wanted to get up for a sunrise hike up to the peak, but sleep deprivation said no.
All right, we're back on the trail this morning, heading back towards Hannegan Pass, and then we'll turn and head up Hannegan Peak.
Waking up yet? Didn't really have coffee this morning.
No, I'm really disappointed. The coffee did not work out this morning.
What was your substitute?
Some espresso goose. So I will get my caffeine one way or the other.
We are back up to the Hannegan Pass intersection.
We split the Hannegan Peak Trail up into 2 days, but if you're doing it on a single day, it could take you roughly about 6 to 8 hours of hiking time depending on the pace that you move. And the best time to visit this trail is late June through September. Snow does linger, so make sure if you are coming earlier season, so before July, to make sure you pack some traction devices. You can always check out satellite views for reports from the Forest Service in this area. You can always check trail reports on All Trails, Gaia, and Washington Trail Association's website.
Peaks on peaks on peaks. We're headed up 12 o'clock, up to that peak. A little bit of snow. Hopefully it's not too steep. Wow.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So crazy. So much snow left for end of July.
The North Cascades encompasses a large area in northern Washington, but not to be confused with the North Cascades National Park. North Cascades is actually what people call a region of the upper northern mountains here in Washington state. But Hannegan Peak is actually part of Mount Baker Wilderness, which has over 120,000 acres of wilderness area in the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. If you remember our videos from last year, we do explore some of these areas like Yellow Aster Butte. So make sure to check out those videos and we'll definitely drop a link to that above.
So where we camped last night at Boundary Camp is way down here by the river.
We are at the summit of Hannegan Peak. Look how stunning these Glacier alpinist mountains are behind me. They're just glaciated to the max. Well, actually a lot of it's melted, but look at that. You got Baker out in the distance. You got all these jagged peaks, just 360 panorama. If I was a chef and I made mountains in the kitchen, they would look a lot like this.
Tim's checking out the route to see where the Canadian border is.
Yeah, so it's not this valley in front of us and not that first ridgeline, but the second ridgeline
Behind it
is Canada.
Cool. So we are just about to take a break, and when we were at the summit, we realized that we were talking to a couple and they ended up recognizing us from our channel. They had watched our Mount Rainier summit video with RMI guides, and that's so cool. This is the first time we've ever been recognized out in the wild. So
yeah, it was pretty fun. It's
it
pretty
really
awesome.
just made my day. So if you ever see us on the trail, please say hello. We love to meet anybody who is doing amazing things and just getting out there hiking. So yeah, I'm just so happy right now.
Some Haribo watermelon.
Tim benefits from my sweet tooth, but it needs to get a shout out. You can sponsor me one day, Haribo. That'd be great. So the state of Washington is actually getting squeezed by both Canada and Oregon. Essentially, the continental plates are moving upwards, and that's how these mountains were created thousands, if not millions of years ago.
All right, so we're heading back down the mountain now from Hannegan Peak. We're gonna head back to the car. I think overall it's a beautiful view from up here, so it's totally worth doing it. You wouldn't need to stay at the boundary camp. It was nice because it did have access to water, so we were able to like refill our waters and everything. But you could just stay on one of the campsites since the Hannegan Peak Trail is on a wilderness area. You can just stay and pitch a tent on the way up here. It's certainly just a nice, easy day trip. Start early.
We are officially back at the car, finished our North Cascades backcountry hike.
Yeah. We did 13.43 miles between the 2 days, and it looks about 3,700 feet of total ascent.
Not too bad. Thanks so much for tuning in to our North Cascades Hannegan Peak video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed watching. Drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. We'll definitely see you on the next trail. Our next adventure takes us to beautiful Alaska.